Ladies and gentlemen, may I request you to join me in warmly welcoming Professor David J. Locke, principal guest to address the convocation.
Group Rector, Vice Chancellor and President, distinguished guests, honorary graduates, thank you for that welcome. May I first congratulate each and every one of you graduates on your success, and may I recognise the important contribution made by all who have supported you in your quest. That includes your tutors, administrators, and one or more of your parents, families, and friends. Your achievement is considerable and gives you knowledge, skills, and values that will both benefit society and potentially give you a more engaged, richer, and worthwhile life. But while you can control your own input and engagement, the society in which you will operate can provide a greater challenge. Just over in that direction, not far from here, in Tavistock House in Bloomsbury, lived Charles Dickens, the famous British author. It was there in 1859 that he wrote A Tale of Two Cities, which starts with the famous lines, and you're welcome to join in if you know them. It was the best of times, it was the worst of time. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light, it was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. 167 years later, you could be forgiven for thinking that those words were written yesterday. Dickens could be describing the situation in which we live today, and not just in the United Kingdom. Some 17 years earlier, by the way, on 22nd of January 1842, Charles Dickens and his wife arrived in Boston, Massachusetts, aboard the RMS Britannia during their first trip to the United States and Canada. He described his impressions in a travelogue, American Notes for General Circulation. In it, Dickens included a powerful condemnation of slavery. He spent a month in New York City giving lectures, raising the question of international copyright laws and the pirating of his work in America, so that we can conclude that he knew our world and knew a few things about AI before it was even invented. But what world have you graduated into? The best of times or the worst of times? And what might you do about it? I have the pleasure of heading the Magna Carta Observatory. It's a very small body which oversees a document called the Magna Carta Universitatum, Great Charter for Universities. It was written in Latin in 1988, at a time when universities, particularly in Europe, were not enjoying good times and were coming under pressure from their governments, who were making inroads into their autonomy, and there were issues concerning their freedom. The Great Charter has three main principles. Universities should be autonomous and intellectually and morally free from all political influence and economic power. Teaching and research should be inseparable, with students engaged in the search for knowledge and greater understanding. There should be free inquiry and debate, with openness to dialogue and rejection of intolerance. Universities should serve society and have a reliable social contract with civil society, so as to promote health, prosperity, and enlightenment around the world. When the Great Charter was first drafted in 1988, it was certainly not the best of times for universities. But out of those times came the Magna Carta, and since then, over 1,000 universities from 94 countries have signed up to those principles. There is now much greater awareness of how important those principles are for the integrity and efficacy of universities. Although some governments do continue to try to restrict universities in various ways, there is much more support available to universities in putting those principles into practice. For example, at the Observatory we have developed something called the Living Values Project. It does what it says on the tin. The values are living and we make them live. And we see universities serving societies in a much wider range of ways. The rapid development and delivery of the vaccine for COVID-19 being an impressive recent example. The ongoing solution to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals is another example. But how do those principles translate for the benefit of you as graduates? I think it's helpful to think in terms of our own values and how we put them into practice. Some of these values would have been learnt from our parents or wider families. Some will come from our faith, and some from deep inquiry into our disciplines during our studies or other life experiences. Values transcend good times and bad times, both in personal and corporate life. They are a useful guide as to whether a decision is the right one, especially when change is happening so fast and so unpredictable that precedents are no longer useful. In the City of London, the square mile, through which some 23% of the UK's GDP is earned, about a mile in that direction, values have played a vital role from the start. The phrase, "my word is my bond," has denoted the value of trust from the days when stockbrokers operated on foot with notebooks doing deals on the floor of the stock exchange. That value has pervaded irrespective of the state of the market and is an important reason why London remains among the top global financial centres in the world, despite Brexit and other impediments. So, to conclude, even when we are living in the worst of times, there are opportunities to transform for you. Engaging actively with your society, which I define broadly, not just your profession, your local community. It's vital to bring the transformative power of what you have learned for wider benefit, knowing your values and using them as a guide for your decisions should provide greater confidence that your decisions are the right ones. Finally, I would like to congratulate the leadership of EIMT and the European American Group. I would urge you graduates to stay in contact with your university and study provider. Enrich it with your experience so that the benefit you have received is multiplied for the greater good of all. I wish you, the European American Group, EIMT, every success.